temptation to take more on guys that really don't need it is almost the most dangerous thing about the Army.
Exactly. Good news, though, with how cheap power weapons are, for only 4 points, the whole squad can take a power weapon for 4 points. And the base cost of a 5-man kill team with bolt guns and chain swords is 95 points. So adding that 20 points for basically a little bit more flexibility, you can't complain. What I like to do is, for a watch sergeant and a black shield, if I was to go a little bit more melee, is adding lightning claws. They get +1 attack, so they both have 3 attacks base, so you get those 4 attacks, 8 attacks that re-roll hit roll if I place everything well, and re-roll wound roll, because it's a lightning claw. That could get a little nasty.
Now, let's spend a minute talking about maneuverability. DeathWatch took a pretty hard hit with the increased price of drop pods in this edition. How would you restructure your army based on that?
What I first did was Corvuses until they fixed the flyer thing. Luckily, with the Corvus, you're paying 230 points for 13 wounds, toughness 7.
That's just about 2 drop pods.
Yeah, for twin assault cannon and basically a 2d6 assault cannon. But you could choose a twin last cannon or the storm strike missiles, just flexibility-wise. But I choose more shots. I like a lot more shots. Or DACA. But other than that, yeah, it's kind of tough. You know, you choose it. You're looking at the drop pod or the Razorback almost around the same point price, and I'd rather take the Razorback with the more shots you get. Unfortunately, I loved drop pods back in 7th. Those are my go-to. But now it's kind of that you're kind of in that dilemma of either or, and nowadays the Razorback is the go-to.
Yeah, and when I was building this, I had sent it off. It was still 7th edition. By the time I got my guys back, it was 8th edition. So I had built the old school where everybody had drop because of the old formations. And now I don't have drops, so suddenly that shorter range is really intimidating to me.
Yeah, my pods have just been sitting on a shelf dusting. Nobody wants to buy them. Everybody's got too many pods.
Exactly. It's tough. I had 3 myself, and I don't know what to do with them, to be honest. Maybe throw them in a bits box somewhere.
We could make a GW commercial and smash them on the ground like they did.
That'd be fun, don't get me wrong, but what is that, $120?
That's like $15 for me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Let's transition into synergies. Let's take a breath and realize that we're a speck of dust on a speck of dust, floating 40,000 billion bajillion miles fast through a dark hole of the universe.
Sit or lie comfortably, quietly. Allow yourself to be here, fully, in this moment. With your eyes closed, begin to connect with your inner world of thought and feeling. Gradually, let the horseshit of the external world fade from your awareness.
How do we synergize our army? How do we get it milled and well and moving like a well-oiled machine?
Like I said before, Watchmasters.
You went right into synergies right off the bat.
I know. But, you know, when you talk about core build, the Watchmaster is a must no matter what. And just having the reroll all failed hit rolls. Unfortunately, not the reroll once, unfortunately, but the all of it can mean so much compared to that.
What about the kill team concept of, you talked about how it's kind of avoid going into the big, expensive, throwing everything into it. Do you like fielding Terminators into the kill team? Do you like throwing a Terminator in, a Vanguard veteran, and a biker in? Do you try to avoid that?
So with that, the best way to do all of that is to actually have them within the Corvus. The Corvus is the only thing that can hold all of those guys together. Basically, how they made the Corvus is they can hold the 5-man kill team, a bike, a Vanguard vet, and a Terminator. That's it. It has those 12 slots. Bike takes up 3. Terminator takes up 2. Vanguard vet takes up 2. The best synergy is to mix all those together, but you don't want a foot slog. That's why you have the Corvus. That's why it's DeathWatch specific, and it kind of sticks to the fluff where most of them are in that Corvus. You know what I mean? So synergy-wise, having them in there just beefed up, but don't spend too much. Have at least a good 200, 250 points into them, where they're almost a distraction card effects as you got those Razorbacks pushing up that are unloading shots.
So you try not to foot slog anything?
No. Especially with how shooty armies are, and I play a lot of against a lot of AdMech, unfortunately, so I learned my lessons the hard way.
What about the new Stalker bolt gun? That's something very specific for DeathWatch.
Yeah, it's at 2 points a model.
4.
4? That would be a good to hold back objectives, but now where you're able to take Primaris, it's almost tempting to take a Hellblaster squad, stick them next to a Watchmaster, where they're rapid firing that ooey gooey plasma. You can't complain. It's just that flexibility of now with the Primaris, it's kind of a tough decision on what's going to be more effective. You don't get the special issue ammunition, unfortunately, so it's trying to find which ones will fit with the army.
Well, and the Stalker gets the special issue
That's
ammunition. So it's got a 30-inch range, and when you add that 6, you're essentially with a bolt gun with a -1 AP, 36-inch range. Yeah, it's heavy, but you're just hanging out back there.
Yeah, that's probably you're going to get a lot more. You're going to get a bang for your buck for that 4 points. When I first read it, don't get me wrong, I was kind of pissed off that they didn't give it the sniper rule like they should have.
I felt the same way.
Yeah, but the more you look at it, for 4 points, you got that 36-inch that can shoot whatever you want. In 10 shots, you can't complain.
Yeah, and I was kind of always thinking that I looking at it on paper, I wanted to have Vanguard Veteran in everything, because being able to fall back and still shoot, I always think that's an amazing power.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then the other thing we haven't talked about is the movement. They all keep their same movement characteristics. So the bike can go 14 inches as long as they're in coherency. They can move all they want. So if you have a bike coming out of the Corvus moving that 17 inches as everyone else is kind of Congo lining it, you can make a first turn charge if you want it.
Now, before we move on too far, I just want to say how very silly it is that GW thinks they can put a silencer on a bolt gun. Don't those things explode?
Yeah, but they explode when they hit the destination.
Yes, you don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
You just see your buddies exploding into
I know, but
pink
we're
mist.
talking about standard subsonic rounds in a 40mm size.
Well,
then the difference between the initial firing and the explosion is not going to be enough time to get out of the
Don't
way.
ask questions. It's science.
But aren't the bolt guns actually rocket-propelled grenades, essentially?
Yes.
You don't think they figured out how to silence those things 40,000 years into the future?
Not for the explosion after the bolt.
They haven't figured out how to make a grenade.
I don't know what happened here, people. I have no idea what happened rest of the episode, but I'm sorry. It's been lost into the materium. But don't worry, there'll be another episode next week. You can follow us on Facebook.com/StrataGYM podcast. You can also listen to all the episodes of the show on iHeart.com with iHeartRadio app on your cell phones. You all have a great day. This is Andrew Freeman saying over and out.